All right, let's break down a modern Indian horror story that absolutely nails the classic techniques for building spine-chilling terror. We're going to see how a really simple story about a postmaster in a new village becomes this total masterclass in suspense and fear. Okay, let's get into it.
You know, the whole story really just boils down to this one terrifying question. Right from the start, the stakes are unbelievably high. This isn't just about one guy being haunted. We're talking about a potential village-wide catastrophe just waiting to happen.
So, let's set the stage. We meet our protagonist, Girdhari. He's a postmaster who's just moved to this new, super isolated village with his wife. I mean, it is the perfect setup for a horror story, right? A total stranger in a strange land, completely clueless about the dangers that are lurking just out of sight.
And the story wastes zero time layering on that creepy atmosphere. The first thing we're hit with is this oppressive, pitch-black darkness. It's such a classic horror move because it taps right into our most basic fear of the unknown. The second you're plunged into that darkness, you feel just as lost and vulnerable as Girdhari does.
And if the darkness wasn't enough, right on top of it, the story adds these thick, descending layers of winter fog. This is just a brilliant use of sensory detail. It's not just about what you can't see anymore. It's about feeling completely disoriented, muffled, like you're trapped. You can almost feel that chill yourself.
Okay, so the eerie atmosphere is set. Now the story introduces the one moment that kicks everything off. Girdhari needs to buy some rice for dinner, and he stumbles on this little shop and has a fateful encounter with its seemingly harmless old owner. This right here, this is where everything goes wrong.
Now this is where the story gets really clever, with this contrast. Kali Charan is presented with a strange, sweet smile and a soft voice, but that's immediately undercut by these really unsettling details. His dark black complexion and, the creepiest part, an unnaturally long shadow. It's just a textbook example of hiding the monster right there in plain sight. And the story just keeps peppering us with clues, with all this classic foreshadowing. Girdhari sees this old, sooty clay pot. When it accidentally breaks, there's a sudden, disgusting smell. And inside, dried bones and withered flowers. I mean, these are massive red flags that our hero, just so relieved to find a shop, completely misses.
And this is it. This is the exact moment of manipulation. Kali Charan pretends he's a helpless old man and asks Girdhari to just nudge the pot out of the way with his foot. It seems like such a tiny, innocent thing to ask, but that one little kick is literally the key that unlocks 20 years of dormant evil.
So the next morning, the consequences of that one small act start to bubble to the surface. Girdhari, of course, has no clue what he's done, but you can feel the rest of the village starting to sense that shift. The terror he unleashed is slowly waking up.
The suspense here is built through these really cryptic warnings. First, he hears it from his colleague at the post office, then a neighbor. They keep talking about this 20-year-old fear that's suddenly back, but they don't give him the full story. And that just makes the sense of dread grow, for him and for us.
And then, finally, we get the whole horrifying backstory. This timeline lays it all out for us. Kali Charan was this evil practitioner of black magic who was sacrificing children. The villagers, totally enraged, killed him, and a wandering holy man, a sannyasi, managed to trap his evil spirit in that exact clay pot, the one Girdhari just kicked over.
And Kali Charan does not wait long to announce his return. He attacks a man from the village, but lets him live, just so he can deliver this chilling message. It's a straight-up declaration of war. He wants the village to know he's back, and he wants them to be terrified. And this is the gut punch for our hero. All the pieces finally click into place, and Girdhari is hit with this devastating realization. He is personally responsible. His small, unknowing mistake has potentially doomed the entire village. You can just feel the immense weight of that guilt crashing down on him. But this is where the story takes a turn. Girdhari doesn't run, and he doesn't try to hide. Instead, he decides he has to be the one to fix his mistake. And this is where his journey begins. From this unwitting pawn to the village's most unlikely hero. So he confesses to the villagers and he makes this declaration. It shows some incredible character development. He's accepting full responsibility and is willing to face whatever comes next to set things right. This is the very heart of his redemption arc.
So the village sannyasi comes up with a plan, and it's a really clever one. It has to be Girdhari who acts as the bait, and you might be wondering why him. Well, because as the sannyasi says, he trusts you. Kali Charan sees Girdhari as the one who freed him, and they're going to use that trust as a weapon against him.
So this all leads to the final showdown on the Amavasya, the new moon night. In Hindu tradition, this is a time when the barrier between worlds is at its thinnest, perfect for a supernatural battle. The trap is set, and Girdhari literally has to walk right back into the lion's den.
And bam, the climax kicks off. Girdhari has done his job. He distracted Kali Charan just long enough for the magical barrier to be completed, and the sannyasi gives the signal. The tension is at its absolute peak as Girdhari makes a leap for safety.
And just like that, the sweet, gentle facade is gone. Kali Charan realizes he's been trapped again, and we hear his true voice for the first time. And it's just filled with pure, murderous rage. The monster is now fully revealed.
But the sannyasis is ready for him. He counters Kali Charan's threats with this incredibly powerful declaration, promising a binding so absolute that it will last for generations to come. This is it, the final epic showdown between good and evil.
As the sannyasi and the villagers chant their mantras, we get this final, horrifying image. Kali Charan's human form just melts away, revealing the terrifying demon underneath, just moments before he and his shop are completely consumed by a supernatural fire.
So with the spirit finally defeated, the story moves into its resolution. But, just destroying his form isn't enough. They have to make sure Kali Charan can never, ever return. They need a permanent prison.
And this right here is the final seal. The ritual is repeated, but this time it's fortified. They bury the pot with all the ritual items and then plant a banyan seedling right on top. Now, in Indian culture, the banyan tree is sacred. It's powerful, it lives for a very long time, and its roots go incredibly deep and wide. It's basically the perfect natural cage for an ancient evil.
So the village is safe, for now. But the story leaves us with this one final, chilling thought. Their prison is a living thing. And what happens if that tree ever falls? Well, the terror of Kali Charan might just rise again.